Joining us in the studio this time around is another candidate for mayor. It's current Mayor Rod Davies. Good morning.
Good morning, Vanessa.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. An opportunity for us to have people get to know you guys a little bit more this morning. It's time to learn a little bit about you. Tell people about yourself.
Sure. Well, as most people know, my name's Rod Davies. I've been Monmouth's mayor for the last 20 years. I'm obviously proud to be a lifelong member of this community. My roots run very deep here. My son and grandsons are the fifth and sixth generations of our family to call Monmouth home. And, I grew up working in a family-owned business. It was a junkyard located on the south side of town. I'm a graduate from Monmouth High School and Monmouth College. I was a certified public accountant for 45 years, and I gained a lot of knowledge and experience understanding compliance rules and regulations from auditing school districts and other units of local government. And, I think that's really served me well in the office as mayor.
Okay. In your past 20 years as mayor, what do you think the primary role of the mayor's position is representing the city of Monmouth, and has it changed over that 20 years?
Well, it's supposed to be a part-time position, although that's not the case. I was fortunate, being in my own business, that I could drop things and come to City Hall as needed, when needed. And my role, as a certified public accountant, being involved in finances and understanding a lot of the issues that we face with compliance and making sure things are getting done and getting done right. I learned and I brought that to the office, and I've always been involved in discussions and negotiations, and the big ones with farmland and Smithfield consumed a lot of time. Economic development, figuring out what we're going to do to solve all of our financing problems, because running the city government and staying within your means is not easy, and it takes a lot of attention to detail, and it takes a lot of skills, knowledge, and experience. And so I guess those are the things that I've been involved with, as I consider myself a value added in that way because of my financial background and understanding how to finance things and pay for things that don't negatively impact our residents, like increasing taxes or increasing water and sewer rates. So I think that's a big piece. I mean, the traditional role of mayor and council is, we set policy and direction. We make decisions on ordinance. Are we going to add a liquor license or a stop sign? Or, how do we keep going and, meeting our mandates and meeting our requirements to deliver services to the citizens of Monmouth every day.
So setting policy and direction, you think that is one of the primary roles, as well as the fiscal responsibility, if I heard you correctly?
Yeah, I mean, the traditional role of mayor and council with a full-time administrator is, setting policy and direction, although I've been much more involved than that.
What are you thinking in your next term, if you were reelected, would be one of the most pressing issues facing Monmouth?
Well, right now we have about $30 million of infrastructure projects in progress. It's going to be overseeing and managing those projects. That's going to be critical. And $8 to $10 million of those projects have been unfunded mandates, and we're going to have to figure out how to pay for those and how to manage those projects. That's going to be key, and that's really driven me to stay engaged. It would have been easy to call it a career, but those are the things that have driven me. I want to oversee this to make sure it's done right, to continue our building our tax base so that we don't overburden our taxpayers, and continue with economic development and the work we've started there. There's still a lot of work to be done in that area.
Okay. What about housing? One of the things that you've spoken to us about on the show, and many folks have been talking about on a regional basis as well, is the growing concern for affordable housing, not housing, that's above and below a certain income threshold, but affordable for all types of residents, all people of Monmouth.
Sure. And during my tenure, they have added two affordable housing developments and at Prairie Point and Monmouth Townhomes. So, we've addressed that to some degree, but we have a lot of lots available, infill development. And we've been working, we're in the early stages with a not-for-profit in Macomb, Illinois, that it's a land bank. And they're working on with about 10 counties and the cities in those counties to try to get funding and come into towns, and they're trying to get 100 homes and get funding and see if we can do some infill development and make those housing units affordable. That's a big challenge. The average cost for normal home construction is $200 to $250 a square foot, so it makes even 1,000 square foot home, $200,000 to $250,000. So it is a very difficult issue, and it's not an issue that just Monmouth faces. It's around the country, and we've been working with another not-for-profit organization to see if we can find some subsidies to help people reach that affordable level. And so we do. Between the land bank and the other options, we're working on that. We've also reached out to other developers to see if there's an affordable interest in another affordable housing development. But right now, no news on that front. But we're, always working on it.
And you said lots available, and you're working with a not-for-profit land bank. How many lots are available approximately, and are those all inside the city of Monmouth?
Yes, they're all within the city of Monmouth, largely in the 3rd and 4th wards. We have a few outside that, but not many. We're working with that not-for-profit to see if they get funding, then, we can certainly do some infill development. I think we've requested to have at least 10 of those homes available. We'll see what we can do.
Okay. And with those wards, you said you're looking maybe for 10 houses to be put on these lots specifically. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that what this land bank does?
Yeah, they do infill developments. Not only do they help with building those and getting the funding for that, but they also help small communities that, with the legal staff about clearing titles, helping with acquisition and demolition, those kinds of things.
And then who would own them at first? Would that be
the not-for-profit would own them, would hold the ownership until they're sold.
Okay, so people can physically buy
absolutely
these 10 specific lots if the land bank comes to fruition.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we're working with that. In fact, we have another meeting with them later today, so we're looking forward to that. Okay.
And about how many total lots do you think we would have for something like a land bank overall in a city? Are they looking at, you said, multiple counties?
Yeah, they were hoping to, get access to 100 homes. And so we were hoping that we could, certainly get 10 of those. We'll see how it goes. We've got to get the funding, and we have to get that. Like I said, it's in the development stages, and we're working there. We're also working on getting some housing improvement grants through WRC, which, helps existing homeowners fix up and maintain their homes. So, we've done that in the past. We're in the queue this time, and I think there's generally 10 of those grants available for about $50,000 to $60,000 each.
Okay. We're talking with current Mayor Rod Davies, who is a candidate for re-election for the position of mayor on April 1st, coming up in the election process. And, the next 4 years, what sort of outline your vision for the city's development?
Well, again, we're going to continue driving economic or infrastructure development leads to economic development, and the business district we created at Love's Travel Stop got the water and sewer utilities extended to that lot. That is the prime building lot that we have probably in the city of Monmouth. And with that extension of water and sewer utilities, we certainly believe that that will be the hub for future new development. Of course, there's still discussions about new growth, expansion, modernization at Smithfield Foods. So we see continued growth and demand for city utility services, water and sewer for them and their projects, and we hope they certainly do. We see more compliance issues. We applied for, and we're supposed to be hearing about another $2 million to extend the renovation of our downtown. To the 200 blocks of North Main Street and South Main Street. And so I'll be excited after we get done with the downtown project, we can continue that. We are supposed to be hearing about that pretty soon. So we see that continued redevelopment of our downtown as being a key part of what's happening in the next 4 years. You know, we talk about downtown a lot, but it is the face of our city. And I hear a lot from, you know, like the hospital or the college or some of our larger employers as they try to recruit key people to Monmouth. You know, we have to sell ourselves. We have to be a good host community. And when the college is attracting students and families that want to spend 4 years in Monmouth, you know, a vibrant and good-looking downtown is a key piece of that. And when we finish this renovation downtown, we'll have, you know, pedestrian-friendly area. And, again, we just are seeing the development, the continued development. We just received a $350,000 grant from a foundation, and we're going to match that. And the owner is going to also match. And we're going to get that the 100 block of West First Avenue developed. The Old Banker's Life building is the historic name of that, and we're excited about that. We'll get that building sprinkled. There'll be loft apartments upstairs, and then there'll be some storefronts available for development, occupation, and continued growth downtown.
Okay. So you kind of hinted at it. Let's talk about small business and how you will work with small businesses. What do you foresee to help our small businesses in our community?
Sure. And the city's partnered with the county and the chamber and all of our local businesses to develop and form MCAP, Maple City Area Partnership. And, you know, that's probably the direct and first line to help support small businesses. I know I've worked with a member of the Illinois Institute of Rural Affairs to come around and talk to our to our Asian grocery store owner about their needs, and the Mexican grocery store that's in the Vaughn's building about some needs and freezers and possibly a state grant to help with freezers, and they both needed those. And so we continue to work with all the agencies we can to help support the small businesses we have. I think having storefronts available is a good way. And, you know, the city took ownership of the Vaughn's building and to save it and preserve it. And, you know, we got it a lot of money put in roof and tuck pointing and plumbing and electrical and shoring up some of the floors to make sure that the building's stable, some real infrastructure improvements on those buildings. And right now we have 2 small businesses that are operating there. And we, you know, that provided them a space to operate and continue their business. One of them had been moved out of another space, and so it was fortunate that that space was available so they could continue operating here. I think just having space available, having our economic development partnership with MCAP, and you know, continue working with the Illinois Institute for Rural Affairs and other business, the Small Business Incubator in Macomb, all those things that we do allows us to, you know, support that.
Do the businesses, such as some of the ones downtown, are they able to purchase the buildings? Who owns the buildings? Do we have like a list of that still? I think you guys had a company come in that did what was that company called? 360
Yeah.
Consultants, yes.
Yeah.
And they did like a per building look at our downtown.
Yeah. And we're very fortunate that we've touched just about, I think this next project for the 1R block of West First is probably leaves only one or two buildings that haven't been touched or rehabbed or extended with, business owners have taken advantage of I think we've, invested a lot of TIF funds into I think the building owners have invested just over $3 million for our $680,000 match, and just preserving those buildings. Right now, the city owns Old City Hall. We just put a roof on it, and we're still working on a development there. We met with a new group to get that developed, and we're trying to make that into market rate loft type apartments there. That's ongoing. We have the old Vaughn's building, and the Hall Shoes. That's the other building that we own. And right now, we've been working, looking for ways to develop that. We've had a couple inquiries. If someone wants to own those buildings, they can reach out to the city, and we will take those offers to City Council. And City Council makes the ultimate decision as to whether we want to sell them or not. But right now, we're kind of using the Vaughn's and Hall Shoes as a bit of an incubator to get those small businesses in there and going.
Okay. Next question. You've talked about this several times, but as I asked your opponent, Sean, aging roadways, gosh, that's been a challenge for quite some time, and it affects the entire state. What's your plans for our aging roadways?
Sure. Well, we've been working on what seems forever to get the West Harlem project done. It's been through IDOT. It's been with IDOT since 2020. That actually is going to bid, we hope, either the end of March or the end of April for a May letting. And so we're encouraged with that. We got all the underground done. All the water mains are in. Hydrants are up. And so that first leg from North Main to G Street will, as we've talked about before, will be a concrete road because of the grant funding. We'll have sidewalks on both sides. We'll have curb and gutter. And those will be a really nice road, and those are the requirements from from those grant funds. And then from G Street to the bypass, that will be, we've got some drainage issues to address there, and we'll be doing those as part of the road project. That will be an asphalt road. Again, we're supposed to be letting that and constructing that this summer. As you know, we did a lot of the work on Euclid and 6th Street after replacing water mains and getting that all in ground first. And, we put every dollar that we get from motor fuel tax funds into our roads. I mean, and every local motor fuel tax dollars. And with the growth and addition of Love's Travel Stop, that's really enhanced and grown. I mean, they bring in more local motor fuel tax dollars than all of our other stations combined. And with the new $5 million construction, and because Love's is so busy and they have the demand they have there, as you know, Beck's just are in the middle of building a $5 million truck stop there that we believe, that they're building that because they believe they can fill it and use it, bringing more incremental business to us, which means, more local motor fuel tax and hopefully more state motor fuel tax. Unfortunately, that's out beyond our reach and control, but every dollar we get comes to town. We were able to go through and overlay everything about every 10 years when asphalt was $50, $60 a ton. Now it's gone to over $200 a ton for asphalt, and that's the challenge. Our motor fuel tax dollars have remained very constant. The only growth has been in our local motor fuel taxes, and So if your revenues are flat and your costs are going up, it directly impacts the miles of road that you can do.
Okay.
And we've even stopped and gone to where we'll, instead of doing a project every year, we'll do it every 2 to 3 years to make it a bigger project to try to get a more competitive bid, so allowing us to do more miles of road for each project.
You have about 1 minute left. Finally, how will you ensure that all voices of our city residents are represented in your administration?
Sure. We're in City Hall every day. Our meetings, we have our city council meetings twice a month. They're videoed and played. There's we have our 3-4 minutes before each meeting for the public to address us. People are not bashful about stopping by City Hall and talking to us, and we do outreach when we can. We're at all the local events, so we really try to be involved and engaged and respond to our residents.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming in this morning as well. And we'll do a final forum on March 26th at Mex on Main in the noon hour with both you and Sean. And we look forward to talking to you both again then.
Thank you, Vanessa. I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
That is current Mayor Rod Davies, who is a candidate for re-election for mayor on April 1st.